But for real though, subscribe to A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition. Like, tap that notification bell, ding, 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 and comment, and you will get notified when they go live. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And without further ado, roll the intro.
And this is A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition.
Thank you. It's good to be here today. As you know, I've got my first lady here, Michelle, and we're here to talk about the State of the Union of WWE. Okay. It's not that kind of State of the Union you address. Welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition. But you already knew that. And we want to go ahead and give a big shout out to our main man, Jody, for that opening. He did this special for us, and he's done this before. Really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Jody. You are the man. And as always, 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! All right. Who do we have in the house today? We got a few folks in here. Let's go right at the top. Right at the top. Oh, man. A few people we talked to earlier. The real one. First in line, we see you, the real one. And Jody, you already know, brother.
Jody.
Good to see you in here. Life of Ashton.
Welcome.
Jaden Winchester. Hey now.
Okay.
Look at this. We got a few folks in here. Quantaven. We should make a Discord. We have talked about that, and we will see. We're not the most active on the social medias and whatnot as we should be, as we could be, because we have a lot going on.
Yeah, as we start transitioning to full-time YouTubers, we'll have way more.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Isaiah Small.
What up, baby? Isaiah Small. That was, Biggie Smalls. David Tate Jr., how are you? Michael Tolbert.
Hold on, you went back up. You missed somebody.
I don't know.
No.
Dankster 360.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Okay.
All right, Dankster. I love this. 901 Shogun.
901 Shogun.
The Shogun of Harlem. I love it. Ninja Senku. Oh, that was dope. We appreciate that. Yeah, so, hey, Jedi Knight 88. Good to see you in here.
Good to see you.
Every once in a while, we try to shake things up, do things a little bit differently, and there have been a few... Okay, wow, it's not OnlyFans. We're not shaking it up like that.
My bad, I was confused. I got you.
Okay, Oos. Okay, you did that for Roman Reigns. That's a whole other thing. But every once in a while, we'll get video submissions from people that watch us that, are really cool openings. So every once in a while, you might see a different opening. It's just a thank you to everybody that takes the time to watch us. You're taking your time out of your day right now on a Sunday, wherever you are. Right now, it's about 90 degrees here in Los Angeles.
90 degrees.
It is hot, but we got some things we want to talk about.
Yes, we do.
And I think you all do too. Dana Jones, what's going on? If we get why we don't see Jimmy's for a week, not for a leg injury. Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, we will get there.
Recently?
I don't. E-Rookie 93. What's going on? Thoughts on Eric Bischoff? Clue us in on that. We will get there. No, Jody, that was awesome because you did it for us. What's up, Sophie Dopey?
What up, Sophie Dopey?
Emily Brown's in the house. How are you,
Hello,
Emily?
Lee.
Sage Martinez.
Okay, what's up, Sage?
What's up, Mr. Brooks? What's going on, Mr. Brooks?
Mr. and Miss Brooks.
Egypt
And we
Harley is
still
here.
together.
Oh, man, look at this. The head of the table
Jay
showed up on
Dolphin,
Friday.
JJC.
Did the head of the table show up on Friday?
Nation of Domination.
Did he? I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't
We
know.
reacted to it.
Hi, Wesley Franklin. Good to see you. Taekwon Mills, Byron Reynolds. I love this. We got a lot of people. 89 in Charleston, South Carolina. Woof.
Did you say E. Wilkie 1993?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Are y'all excited for the Obi-Wan show? You know what? Emily Lyons Bristow, we know that you are across the way. It is so good to see you as always, Emily.
Thank you.
Welcome to the party. You know what? Yes. Let me say, we are fans of Star Wars. Now I'm a Star Trek guy, old school OG Star Trek guy.
Trekkie.
Love Star Trek. We really, really enjoy Star Wars. Both of our vehicles are Star Wars out vehicles. She has the actual limited edition Nissan Rogue One. Okay. So yeah, we are fans. And are we fans of Obi-Wan? Yeah, I think the show's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Okay, she loved Hayden Christensen as Anakin. Loved him.
Love.
And the
love,
fact that
love.
he's reprising his role, how this is gonna look, how this is gonna be, we're excited.
Overly excited.
We enjoyed The Mandalorian. We enjoyed Boba Fett.
Okay, we gotta get back on topic.
So
Let's talk
we did enjoy it, and we will, in fact, watch it. More of a Marvel DC, yeah, well, I feel you on that one. Star Trek is too nerdy to me. That's okay. That's okay, Sophie. I could be nerdy. What up, the real one? All right, so let's talk about some things. Yeah, so the state of WWE right now is how y'all feeling about it? How are you feeling about it?
Well, one of the things I mentioned to you that I just wonder if you guys feel the same is that every time for the last couple of years that they decide to do this series of vignettes to bring people back and repackage them, it fails every time. It's almost now like a precursor to it not working out. Like you did that with Eva Marie. You did the whole thing with what's the Indian dude's name?
Oh gosh, now we just totally forgot. Who just debuted? Who's
the
been
big dude.
taking out the Mysterios? He's coming. He's coming.
Something.
Veer Mahan.
Okay. And then you're doing the same thing with Lacey Evans. You did it with Jai Lee, brought her out, didn't do anything with her. And then instead of bringing her out and like having her turn heel, like in an exciting fashion where we were invested as her as a protector, and then she turns and we see this, you could have did a whole buildup. You could have actually had her in the ring and had a storyline. You just decide, do another vignette package saying that you're a bully instead of a protector. Like to me, you just put her on the chopping block because, look at Alistair. They were doing this whole thing with Alistair back. They did Black, and then you got rid of him in the middle of his vignettes.
We were reacting to those.
Right. So to me, the fact that you're repackaging both of these people with vignettes is probably a death sentence.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, homeboy. First of all, she had unfinished business, Jai Lee, in NXT.
Right.
Don't really know if she fits in to the new NXT 2.0. And honestly, her crew in NXT 2.0, they've been missing. Let's just be honest about that. You know, where they've been.
Right.
But she was a face and she was a heel, and then she comes over to Smackdown. Like you said, you do these really cool, like Kill Bill style vignettes. Really excited. We were there when she came out on SmackDown. Loved it. Loved everything about it, and that went nowhere.
And they didn't even try. Like, you didn't even do a storyline with her that could go anywhere. You still have, 4 or 5 chicks that are just hanging out and catering. Your roster's already only this big. And you got this many of them at catering. I don't even remotely understand. So instead of actually investing in her, and one of the other people sitting at catering, Shotzi could have totally been a bully, and they had a whole thing, right? And they didn't even try. They're not even trying. So I don't understand.
I would have personally have liked to have seen, because I was a big fan of the Kabuki Warriors. You know this.
Yeah.
And obviously, we know Asuka's been recovering from an injury. We thought she would have been back in time for Mania. Didn't happen. No clue what's going on with her. I would not have minded to see her tag with Xia Li.
I would think about how they could have did that. You could have brought Asuka back. You could have brought her back heel. And she's attacking. She's wailing on somebody. It's her big return. Xia Li comes out. You think she's going to save her. But then she instead teams with her. Everybody would have been blown away. That would have been better than just saying, I'm not a protector anymore.
Because the whole thing is, these whole vignettes was built around her being a protector of I hate being bullied.
Yeah.
I hate bullies, like since childhood. Like, you did this whole thing for weeks.
And they just said, never mind.
And in 30 seconds, you're like, nah. That sucks.
I changed my mind. I want to be a bully.
She's protecting herself, like you said, from TV time, which is kind of rough. But yeah, it's exactly. She's turning heel in the most random way, and we're fine with her being one way or the other. Just stick to it, right? Just where she was fine as a heel. She was good as a heel. She's really talented. She hits really hard. We've seen her knock some people cold out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for her, you got to find that middle ground and just kind of work with that. If you're a heel, fine. Let's see where we go from here. I'm a little confused talking about NXT because now this so-called brand split, I don't know what's going on here. Right? We have a unified champion in Roman Reigns. He's got the WWE Championship. He's got the Universal Champion. He's got the Universal Championship. We're seeing people just kind of pop on the shows. Now we're seeing more people just pop on to NXT. Now we got Natalya, the ringleader Natalya, going hard against Cora Jade.
I mean, obviously that's Cora Jade's dream, though.
I can appreciate that, but again, what is this? Because you changed NXT because you felt like the black and gold wasn't doing it.
Well, that didn't work. This whole NXT 2.0 did not work. And clearly, you keep bringing back people from the main roster to try to fix it and save it and engage people in it because you should have left black and gold alone.
But here we are. We're in the living color era of NXT.
Yeah, and
right?
then Isaiah Pierce, as far as whether or not she's a heel or just protecting herself as a face, I think in general the rule is that if you're only looking out for yourself, that automatically makes you a heel. That's kind of what makes you a heel in life. Humanity is all about caring about others, not only caring about yourself. So once you say no one else is worth my protection, I'm only about myself, you're making it clear that you're not caring about anybody else, and that just puts you into a heel category.
Which is fine. But the issue was, again, no character consistency. Like my man over here, Darnell, is talking about, you just said, where's Shotzi?
Yeah.
Right? Oh.
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher feels some type of way. Where's Shotzi? Where's Aaliyah? If you all remember, again, I was a fan of the Robert Stone brand. I was, not so much anymore, but I was. Aaliyah slapped the taste out of Robert Stone's mouth.
Right.
She turned full heel. You're like, okay, we're about to see something. Then you come on to the main roster, and they're doing the same thing with somebody else whose name they just changed, Raquel Gonzalez, now Rodriguez, and acting all brand new.
Well, the fact that they act like, number one, the name changes piss us off. I don't know what's up with that. They didn't used to do that.
Not like this.
Sasha Banks came up.
Not
Like,
like
you know what I
this.
mean? You called people up. You call Rhea. I mean, you what? You call Rhea. Why are you changing people's names? I think changing Raquel Gonzalez's name is stupid as changing Butch. Like, it's what are you doing? And why do you think that you can't have history from NXT follow you to the main roster? If Raquel would have been on the main roster and just walked up to Rhea the first day and looked her up and down, y'all know because we watch NXT, their history. You don't have to create a story from scratch.
And so we're talking about the unification of the championship. So what are we talking about here? What are we looking at ultimately? Because the brand split thing is really murky. There's no official word on we're ending. It's like with the WWF, get the F out. Now it's WWE. Now we're gonna go ahead and split the brands. Now we gotta get a universal championship. Like we gotta do this division. So now we've got this unification, so to speak. Fine, it is what it is.
But they haven't actually unified the titles. He's still walking around with two
Well,
titles.
yeah, he's got 2 belts.
How long is that going to go on?
He's got 2 championship belts. And we said if they had just one, just a solid gold, like the gold strap, the belt would be fire. But there's just a lack of consistency right now that for me is really having an issue. And I don't understand how you can have a company that has been in existence as long as WWE and they can't figure this out creatively. The writing team, I don't get it.
Well, here's the thing. So after WrestleMania, I'm sure some of you saw that there was at least one channel, maybe more, who actually used the WWE 2000 or 2022 game to recreate what should have happened at the end of WrestleMania, which was The Rock coming out after Roman Reigns' victory. And then Roman act like he wasn't coming out, like it wasn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Rock bottomed him, right? Like, first of all, I don't even know how you made the game do that, but that was so awesome, right? We all were like, that's what we wanted to see. How is it that the best tease we've seen and the only real tease we've seen for that came from The Rock's show?
Acknowledge me.
Came from The Rock's show. And if any of you guys missed The Rock's show last week, I think it was last week, you saw The Rock when he was a young man, like probably early 20s, and then his young cousin on his back talking about, acknowledge me. And he's like, for those of you who don't know, that's my cousin Joe, Roman Reigns, who would later be Universal Champion. And as Joe is jumping on Dwayne's back saying, let's fight me. And he said, the world's not ready for that. That's a WrestleMania match. And because he said, Joe said, Samoa, I want someone to Samoa drop me so bad. And that's what he was like, the world's not ready. That's a WrestleMania match. So all of us know The Rock is saying this will happen at WrestleMania because they've been talking about it. Joe's been asking him for that since he was a little kid. You know what I mean? But WWE hasn't teased it at all.
So we see this, and let me ask this, because we didn't, if it happened, we didn't catch it. So did this happen again? Did Jimmy Uso catch another DUI, like, since SmackDown? Like that? Did that just happen? I'm seeing a few comments on that. I don't know if that is the case. I would really like to know, did he catch another DUI that we're not aware of? If that's the case, that's a damn shame. We know he had one a little while back, but did it just happen again or what? I want to make sure we get the right information before we throw that out there. And yes, Sophie, you're right.
Hey, KB Brown.
We did see Natalya going to the black and gold of NXT. It has happened. We're seeing more now. People from the main roster coming in and invading NXT. NXT was his own thing. So I just want to know what are we talking about, right?
And if the main roster could come into NXT as themselves, clearly the crossover is not a problem. So stop changing people's names and the character that they created that we liked enough for you to bump them up. That's who we want on the main roster. Raquel Gonzalez is who we wanted on the main roster.
She was a badass player on the main roster. There was no reason to change it to Rodriguez. We're not really clear. It's different when you leave and you come back and you're a whole new character.
Right.
Like we've seen that, and people don't necessarily go with it. But this is just weird. Like this is, and we know what you're capable of. Like we know what you can do, and the fact that you're just kind of acting brand new, it's just weird.
Behind the scenes thing where Shayna, there's giving her a hard time, watching stuff all over the locker room. Let's not act like we don't know about her and Shayna's history. Like what? Like I just.
But that's the other thing that I have an issue with. Natalya is now back in the team with Shayna. So she can't be a singles competitor on the main roster, but apparently she can be on NXT. You're doing this whole thing with Shayna. It's like you're double dipping, right?
When
and
we
it's weird.
Women sitting back there not being used.
Not
Why did
being
you bring
used.
Aaliyah up? Why do you have Jai there? Why do you have Shotzi there? I don't understand. And why did you take away her tank? Is there one person who thought we should lose the tank?
And when Austin Theory won the United States Championship, and they had people come out and hoist him up, and then we saw a T-bar, and we both were like, "Oh, you still go here?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and that's the other thing too. Like, we know LA Knight's been doing these dark match deals. He's now getting a little bit of a crew. He's got a stable going on, which is fine. We like LA Knight as a heel. Then he turned face. Now he's back as a heel, getting this model management thing going on. Why is Mace still being called Mace? Anybody?
That doesn't make any sense.
Anybody? You clearly repackaged him. You're rebranding him. Give him a different name, but acknowledge it. You acknowledge the fact that he hasn't been used and whatever. But like, okay, you know what? Now he was called Mace, and one of the most ridiculous stunts that was ever pulled in WWE. Well, now his name is forever. You know, something like that. The storytelling. That's the only issue that we have when we watch movies or TV or read books. It's just about the storytelling. And if the storytelling is not good, we're not there. Like we just watched a movie last night with Nick Cage. Awesome. Funny movie. Right? The storytelling in this was on point. You acknowledge yourself, your shortcomings, or whatever it is that you have, you exploit it to your benefit, and it works. WWE doesn't seem to want to do that. And that's my other concern right now with Cody Rhodes. Like, it was very exciting for him to come back. Nobody thought he was going to come back. We said until we see him in a WWE ring, he's not back. Okay, so he's back. And he's back for one reason and one reason only. He wants the Universal Undisputed Championship.
Right.
But unfortunately, he's on Raw, and he's spending a lot of time with Seth Rollins instead of showing up at SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know, what would have been cool on SmackDown, instead of having, say, one Mr. Sami Zayn, sir, my tribal chief, there's somebody here to see you. And they look up, and it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, well, I think maybe they'll give Cody the Money in the Bank.
Come on now.
Don't you think they'll give Cody the Money in the Bank?
I hope so. I really hope so. I really hope so.
I feel like that would be the way.
Because that would be so tight.
Because then you already know the match is happening, you know?
Okay, so T-Bar is basically doing main event shows. I mean, at least you're working, but still, what Retribution is no more. They're not even using Ali. Mace, T-Bar, stop it.
Right.
Just stop it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Go back to the names in which we know you by. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm saying. There's no reason to, there's no reason to change Pete Dunne. The ties on all three brands. Yes, she is. And that's fine. Look, just have some consistency. That's all we're saying. If you're going to do the brand split, not do the brand, whatever. Just kind of let us know.
Yeah, I don't think they know what they're doing.
Because the thing is this, going back to the Undisputed Universal Championship, they split the belts because of the brand split. One person on one brand couldn't wrestle for a title on the other. So you had to have a championship. That was the whole point. And that's why we were so upset with the women's tag team championships. Because why is it that women are still undervalued and underused, and they are the ones that have to be these workhorses to defend their championships between all three brands?
Right.
Then NXT gets their own set of women's championship belts. Great. But on SmackDown and Raw, the women still have to defend it on both brands. That's not fair.
No.
It's not fair. Either they are superstars on par with the men, or they're not.
And they're clearly not.
Okay? You're not investing like you should. Why is there no Cruiserweight championship for the women? Why is there no IC championship for the women? Do you believe in these women, or don't you?
Right. No, I mean, they're never going to be considered equal to par. I don't care what they say. They could say they are, but I'm telling you, they gave them a pay-per-view. The pay-per-view didn't do all that, and I think they were like, well, that didn't work. And that was it.
Well, I'll tell you what doesn't work, right? Is outfits, certain outfits. Things are not, abilities aren't being contained.
Alert.
We saw a little issue with, like she said, with Charlotte's house, fixing my bra. As good as she acknowledged the fact that she had a mishap, right? Tiffany Stratton is over here finally getting some real ring gear. Why is she wearing something that you could see stuff that you don't need to be seen in the ring? I don't understand. How are we supposed to be taking you seriously as a superstar? I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
You don't usually have men's outfits where stuff is slipping out.
Turn the women's tag titles into the women's IC title. Hey.
Interesting
idea. I mean, why not? If you're going to take them seriously, this is what we want to see. We are invested in what we're watching, even if we get upset by it. But again, at the base of this, it just goes back to basic storytelling 101.
Okay, Isaiah Smalls, I just gotta say, because I just don't get everybody saying that Charlotte Flair is it because of her name. She kicks ass every time. She's an amazing personality, a great heel. Everybody hates her. There's nobody quiet when her music comes on and comes out. That's what makes you a great heel. The reason Natalya is still there to me is because of her name, but they're never going to give her the same run, even though her family name is valuable. They're not giving Tamina the same run because even though clearly they're invested in Roman Reigns and The Rock and the Usos, you don't see them doing that with Tamina because she's not as good in the ring as Charlotte Flair. She's not. I love Tamina. She's not. Charlotte is brutal. She's a great technical wrestler, and she is an amazing larger-than-life personality. So I just don't give all this whole just because her last name. And we should respect bloodlines in the wrestling where it's been carried down from tradition to tradition. That's not a bad thing.
And let's keep in mind for a second, back in the day, back in the Generation X days, when you had China was a badass. Mm-hmm. China was pushed. China was an intercontinental champion.
Right.
Okay? Nobody had any issues with pushing China. Because if you can do the work, if you can put asses in the seats, if you can put money in the pockets, this is what people want to see. Jody, I see that you're saying that Aaliyah and Shotzi had a dark match. As far as we're concerned, dark matches don't exist.
Right. If it's dark, the only people who know about it are the people in the audience. And the fact that you are only putting the same people on TV over and over and over again. I mean, the whole point of a brand split end would be to let people fight, different people fight each other. But you're not even using the women you have. So not only are you not using Shotzi and you're not using Aaliyah and you're not using Xia Li and you brought Lacey Evans back, but you haven't brought her back, but you still have Dewdrop and
where did Dewdrop go?
Ash and where are they?
They're last time we see them wrestle. There you go. We saw Nikki at the wedding, which was a very funny, levity type moment. Fantastic, enjoyed it. We reacted to it, but let's be honest here. When you had these people that were stars on NXT, you bring them over because we like you the way that you are. You decide to change you into a Bearcat, do some dark matches, and then what happens? So listen, we don't have anything for you. You're released.
And look at Keith Lee and Swift. What is he called?
Swerve.
Swerve, yeah. Over on NXT and how they're killing it. You know what I mean? What a loss.
AEW.
On AEW. So I'm sure WWE is looking at that combination. You let both of those talents go. Mm-hmm. And now they're teamed up at AEW and they are just wreck his shop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on now. We got a super chat in the house. Coming in hard.
Thank you for that.
Put it back in there. Love you guys. And thank you, Jalen Young. Thank you
Jalen,
for that super chat. That is a huge super chat. Thank you very much. We do not take that lightly. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you, Jalen. Yeah, man. Emily, prove why. Yeah, okay. So to your point, Emily, we know from history, the one thing about WWE, say what you will about the company as a whole, they do have a wellness policy. And if they feel like you have a substance abuse issue, they will try to, and you're somebody that they do want to work with, somebody that you are a draw, they will try to work with you and try to get you some help.
Right.
Right now, the bloodline situation, could you imagine? Like, we were shocked when they let Nia Jax go. But could you honestly imagine if they released Jimmy being a part of the bloodline, being one half of the Smackdown Tag Team Champions? Could you imagine what that would do to this whole storyline right now?
Yeah, that would be crazy. And they should care more about their talent being clean and being safe, not endangering others, than the storyline. But they worked with Jeff Hardy. I mean, the same way that AEW just had Dean Ambrose go and get the help that he needed and then come back. I mean, for all we know, I mean, we don't know if he had to join AA. We don't really know what that looks like on the other side. I'm sure it wasn't like, we're not going to talk about it. You know, we don't really know what he had to do to be able to keep going and keep showing up.
True.
So if he's just talking about the DI from last year, I haven't heard about anything.
I'm just saying, right? But let's talk about Gunther for a second. Another name change. Okay, my man was Walter. Loved him as Walter. Hard hitter. I'm a fan of Walter.
He's a fan of Walter.
You decided to change him to Gunther. Okay, dumb. Right out of the gate. A UK guy. NXT UK guy. He moonlights in NXT over here. He now is transplanted over here. And now, within weeks, he's now transplanted onto the main roster. Like that. And he's good. But let's talk about the faction for a second. Right? We got a couple of Samoans in NXT, one of which is, in fact, a brother of the bloodline.
Right.
We've seen this. We've seen the tats. We know what these guys can do. If you're going to bring Gunther up, and there was an issue, there was a whole thing for a second between Solo Sikoa and Gunther that now is really a whole bunch of nothing. Bring these other two gentlemen up.
Zion?
Just saying.
Yeah, bring Zion. I mean, no, because you're like the Samoan, you know, because he's part of the, I mean, he's not part of their bloodline, but you know, the Samoan.
You see what I'm dealing with right now? I don't know what it is about this. I don't know yet.
I'm a fan. He's good.
The disrespect, Oos. I'm talking about their wrestling abilities. Son, bring them over into the bloodline. This is what I want to see.
Can you imagine if they have 5
This is how you create a stable.
And then you bring Tamina up there, but that's a lot of people.
Well, we talked about this, right? If you're going to be having these wrestlers crossing the streams into different brands, have the Usos show up in NXT. Have the head of the table.
That's what I was thinking when they jumped. When they jumped on him last week, it was last week, right? When he was in a match, and then they actually talked about, we don't care about your bloodline or whatever, and other people got involved. It's like, oh, are you calling out the Usos? Is that what you're doing? Like, you
that would have been the time. Think about that. And then you see them like, okay, now you got the blessing, and then they come with the bloodline. And then the next thing you know, they're walking into SmackDown. Come on now. Y'all running everything. They just can't figure it out. They can't figure, how hard is that? Right? I mean, it's how is it we as fans can write the better stories than the so-called professionals? I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't know.
But let me ask y'all this question. Let me ask you this question. Because we did the reaction to Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. We still see a lot of comments that people just are not feeling Ronda Rousey, regardless of how you feel about Charlotte.
Right.
But overall, just not feeling Ronda Rousey. Does anybody really, really care about this matchup? Do you want to see this happen? And do you want to see Ronda actually get the championship? I don't know. Do you want to see? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Ronda's. She
know.
really needs to change her music.
Well, yeah, we felt that way about Nia Jax's music too. It didn't fit. It didn't fit. If you can come up with some really, really good music like you can with Roman Reigns, there's some theme music that really fits the performer. But that's just not it.
Where is Alexa Bliss? So she got married and had a honeymoon, but come on, man.
Doesn't even know. Nobody even knows.
I mean,
and that's another example. You do these therapy vignettes. We went weeks of whatever that was, just to come back and lose, and then you get married. We know you're doing a whole wedding thing. We get it. It's fine.
Right.
You can still perform. I don't understand. You do all this to what end? We're left with nothing.
They did all that to what end, not her. They did that.
Well, when you're in WWE, you just got to go with the flow. They tell you you're going to job, you're going to job. If you're going to win, you're going to win. We don't really look at you as a wrestler. You're a performer. You're an entertainer. When they don't get a good direction storyline, yeah. I mean, Becky Lynch was gone for over a year. Had a kid, came back, is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
She's doing, regardless of whether you feel that she's a good heel or not. We actually weren't mad at it. We weren't mad at it.
No.
She did a good job, but no consistency. I hate to see, like with consistency with Seth Rollins, who we never, ever got any explanation for the vision. Let's just be honest. Didn't happen. Kept coming up short. And now he's in the thing with Cody Rhodes, who only came back for one reason and one reason only.
Right.
And I don't see the path to the undisputed championship going through Seth Rollins. I don't see it.
No, it's going to be Money in the Bank. I'm telling you.
I don't see it. Yeah, exactly. Pete Dunne changed his name.
The quality is not good. Is that just my phone?
It could be. What's okay here? Want to make sure we're still sounding and looking okay to everybody. Just make sure that we are. Let me come out of here. I'm going to double check. We still looking good?
Oh, that's my phone. Because my phone is blurry.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're sounding. I think we're looking okay. Imperium versus the Bloodline. Big fans of Imperium. Big fan of Imperium.
Yeah, not sure why you want to brought them all up together.
B cracked you up. Probably bring them over. Yeah, the MSK thing. I mean, that I feel. Hey, there's really no way to say it. That sucked. Okay, whatever's going on with them is a personal issue. We don't really want to get into all of that. It just sucks that when you leave your partner high and dry like that because of some stuff that you may or may not have done allegedly. Right? So now the championship has to be abdicated and you got to figure out what you're going to do as a performer. And honestly, let's be honest. When you are one half of a tag team and for whatever reason your tag team partner is gone, whether it be by injury or whatever else may happen, now you're in a position, can I draw as a singles performer?
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
And there's some that can. We saw the Rockers, Shawn Michaels, let's just be honest, one of the biggest superstars of all time. That worked out. But we've seen some tag team partners that it just
wasn't meant to be.
Like, and to talk about the Rockers, Marty Jannetty, not so much. I don't want to see somebody get Marty Jannetty.
Jody Zion Quinn is who I was talking about.
Exactly. He had a little thing with Legado del Fantasma, right? I was kind of hoping for something better. Didn't happen. Just bring my man over. Bring my man over already. Why are we wasting time? And why are the two Samoans not?
Bring my man over.
No, okay.
I was just saying the same thing you said. Bring my man over already. Bring my man over already.
All right, this was like a good stopping point. I think we just need to get out of here.
What?
Yeah, I'm not even feeling that. Give you Roman. Not really. Oh, man. I love Ronda. Want to see her as champ. I don't care for her versus Charlotte. Fair enough. She's gotten better, right? She's still not great on the mic. She's got to work on her promo skills. Have Stephanie teach the course. If you ever heard Stephanie McMahon cut a promo, she is good.
She is so good.
She is excellent. So, Alexis, I don't know, man. Becky returning next week. That's fine. That's fine. We want to see Alexa return. We want to see Asuka return. Yeah. It's time for some fresh blood. And officially end the brand split once and for all. Anybody shows up on anybody's show, let's just make stuff happen. You clearly have no faith in NXT 2.0 anymore. Yeah. No faith.
None.
So if what you think is going to save it is bringing in main roster superstars, so be it, man. So be it. We actually kind of like the
Roland, yes.
Redesign heavyweight championships in NXT. Mm-hmm. It fits. Mm-hmm. But storyline goes, yeah. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on here. Hope nobody's getting crazy up in here.
Why?
Did John Cena, Jody, John Cena comes back.
For what? He got beat down last time. It wasn't even a great fight.
It really wasn't. We were, I don't know.
The Hardys did it, Edge and Christian, JBL even.
Yeah.
Oh, singles? Yes, they did. Yeah, they're for sure has been people who have been successful. That's what he was saying.
Yeah,
there are people who have not. But yeah, I mean, when Otis broke up with the tall, big old dude, I can't remember his name right now. That was it for him.
Mm-hmm. We made 605 videos. Dang.
That's a lot of videos.
That's a lot of videos. And we got more to come.
A lot of editing.
Right? We're just getting started. Yeah, it's a lot of editing. We want to make sure that the quality of our stuff is top notch for each and every one of you. So that is important to us. I'm hearing somebody doing some construction.
I think it's outside.
Goodness, I don't know if y'all hear that. Right on time for his 20th anniversary. Edge versus AJ Styles.
Some kid Cuddy thinks NXT is good. I mean, if you enjoy it, I'm glad. Like, we don't. It's not that we don't. We will watch it, and we still. And what's so funny is that I know a lot of people actually don't appreciate the Dexter segment, but we are fans. We are fans of Dexter, and at the end of the day, there are still people that we enjoy seeing, and there's talent that we enjoy. We do not like the show as much as we did when it was black and gold. Like I said, we'll still watch it. You know what I mean? We watch wrestling, but it's not the same.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like we're still not sure what the point was to have Raquel and Dakota Kai.
Yeah, that was just weird.
Win the championships for basically a minute. To have a whole rivalry, to bring them back, to lose, and now one half is on Smack. It's weird. It's weird.
It is.
And how Dakota hasn't gotten called up yet, nobody understands.
No.
And she's dialed back her crazy, if you've noticed. Right? So her crazy hasn't really been as crazy as it is.
Well, if you were going to have them be champions for a minute to lose it, why not call them both up and let them be a tag team on the main roster? I mean, I just
they can
like
run it.
These days, all you see when you watch WWE is missed opportunity after missed opportunity.
We said, let's see Raquel and Rhea. These are two women that will run the WWE tag team division. Run it. They're great as individual champions. We've seen it. It'd be awesome. But get that gold. Nothing wrong with that.
Olivia Murphy.
Olivia Murphy, how are you? All right.
She said Tyson Fury said that he will be at SummerSlam. He is talking to Vince, and he wants to face Drew McIntyre.
Bring it. Tyson was good. He was very good in WWE. We enjoyed it, and SummerSlam was a fun ride.
Yeah,
that'd be a great time for them to do it.
and
I would love it.
And we will be attending Money in the Bank.
Does anybody? Let's raise your hand if anybody thinks that Sonya Deville will really defeat Bianca Belair and become the Raw Women's Champion. Anyone? I'm just legitimately curious because I got to be honest with you. I kind of want to see it.
What?
I kind of want to see it.
You want to see her win?
I kind of want to see it. Just hear me out.
We went through all this for Bianca to get her championship back.
Hear
for her
me.
to just
Hear
lose
me.
to Sonya?
Hear me out. Just hear me out.
What?
Okay. Sonya's been a fantastic heel.
What?
I feel some type of way about her going at Naomi and Bianca. But with that said, let's think about this for a second. Bianca got her just desserts against Becky Lynch. We all saw it. We all enjoyed it. SummerSlam, I don't want to say is right around the corner, but it's coming up.
Right.
Sonya Deville wins, becomes a Raw champion, holds it until SummerSlam. So the righting of the wrong that took place a year ago
Would be done at SummerSlam.
will be done at SummerSlam. That's all I'm saying. Maybe
So
even a
Sonya
triple
would only
threat
get that
with
from
Becky Lynch.
cheating. So you're
I don't
saying
know.
Sonya gets it from cheating because she can't beat Becky.
She's
Bianca. Sorry,
an
Bianca. All
MMA
these
person
Bs.
too.
I know she's an MMA person.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Today.
I want to say, just think about it. And then Becky Lynch comes back. So then it's a whole big to-do. Then we got a triple threat at SummerSlam. Bianca wins, solidifies herself, her place, rights the wrong. That's not bad.
What do y'all think?
That's not bad. Cool Dream, nah, you're not feeling it. Isaiah, you're liking it.
Yes, David Che Jr. We were there for that SummerSlam when he debuted.
Yeah.
We sure were.
And like you said, we already booked the tickets. So we are going to be back in Las Vegas at the Allegiant Stadium for Money in the Bank.
Yes.
We are excited about that. When we were there last year, they had a whole problem with the whole point of sale system went down. There were some issues. We almost got into a fight. She almost threw some hands. Luckily, that didn't happen. Okay, y'all don't want to see her throw some hands. Okay, it's not pretty. Okay, just saying. Start throwing hands, it can leave quite a mess.
What's wrong with you? Stop it.
Don't Amber Heard me.
You're making me look at it.
Just kidding. Sonya isn't going to win the title. I mean, probably not. But did anybody legitimately think that Nikki ASH would have won?
I don't think Alberto Del Rio will ever return to WWE.
Nope.
Because of the domestic violence scene with Paige. They don't come back from that one. They may eventually come back from racism. They may eventually come back. They'll work with you with a DUI. But domestic violence?
Well, let me tell you something, dude.
No.
They do come back. I was erased from the histories of WWE, man. But guess what? I was with my main man, Titus, and we did WrestleMania. Yahoy, brother. That happened. So I'm just saying. Oh, Jay Life. I love it. Yeah, we in the house, and Jay Life is in the house. Man, Becky is a big time. I hate big time Becks. Jedi Knight don't even like big time Becks. Okay. Well, let's see what happens when she comes back. I have to admit, I'm digging the hairdo. Bianca kind of did her a favor. Kind of feeling it. But we got some big pay-per-views coming up. I don't know how I feel about WrestleMania Backlash. Right now, it seems kind of like weak sauce. I'm really looking forward to SummerSlam and Money in the Bank. I think this is going to be very, very telling for what is going to happen. I just feel like you said, there's a lot of missed opportunity. The writing could be better. And it's not that we don't necessarily want to react to more stuff on Raw or SmackDown, even NXT. But you got to give us something.
Well, here's my thing. And I know I've already said this, but Shotzi Blackheart was amazing. Like her whole, tank hat, the hard helmet with the tank, with the, I hated when they turned her. Mm-hmm. But at least if you're going to turn her, let me still be a fan. Let me still see her wrestle. You gave her like one storyline.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I feel bad for Tegan Knox because she had both knees repaired, surgically repaired. Still comes back, wants to wrestle. You bring them both up, don't do much of nothing, change one name, chop it off, then you chop her partner altogether.
Right.
That sucked.
It sucked.
And then again on NXT, which again I do not understand. I'm a fan of Casey Catanzaro, right?
Yeah.
And now you decide to change her name. What is the deal?
And when is changing names works? I don't even understand. Renegade, go back up a little to Renegade. Okay, so I would be okay with them doing it at SummerSlam. I don't believe they're going to do that for a moment because, like I said, The Rock was very clear on his show when he said in the show to his younger cousin Roman Reigns, they're not ready for that. That could only happen at WrestleMania. And even when Rock mentioned it before, he said it would be a WrestleMania moment, which it is. I can't even think of anything bigger than The Rock versus Roman Reigns. So I don't believe for a second it will be anything other than a WrestleMania moment. I don't think The Rock would allow it.
Yeah, The Rock has said himself that the venue has to be right. Even before he did this, The Rock thing, Young Rock thing, the venue would have to be right. And I think we would be looking at the same type of situation that they did with Cena. I think it's going to be a two-time situation because it doesn't make any sense for The Rock to come back. Like, he's not like The Undertaker. Like, Undertaker just will pop in like a few weeks before Mania and just have a feud all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. It's got to be more than that. And it would be kind of crazy to have The Rock come back to the very house that he built, the very catchphrase where this show is named after, just to right out of the gate lose. Like, at least with Cena, it was one up, one down, one up, one down. That's kind of how it went. And then finally, The Rock acknowledged Cena, which again was stupid because Cena's not here.
Right.
I hate seeing part-timers announce part-timers. Doesn't make any sense, right? But plus, WrestleMania next year will be here in Los Angeles. No way. The Rock is missing that.
Right.
There's no way. It just makes too much sense, especially because he had that Hollywood Rock moniker. We wouldn't mind seeing him at SummerSlam, maybe popping in.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe pop in and start the
mess.
the dialogue.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Like I said, like come in, maybe give a hug to his cousin, and then boom, rock bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, and then of course your other Samoans can just come on in and save the day, whatever. Mm-hmm. They come on. Okay. Mm-hmm. What?
Yes, I'm just saying.
What?
Come on up.
Yeah, they buried Shotzi. And again, if it's on a dark match, it doesn't exist. Right? At least AEW Dark is on YouTube. The only thing that we see from WWE Dark matches is if somebody happens to post it on YouTube. But who cares about a dark match? You had them. I can't say this enough. We liked you for what you are, for who you were, the name that you had on NXT. You are brought up to the main roster because you are showing us that you can put asses in the seats, not to be changed and mangled and then put out and say, you know what, we changed everything about you and you're just not working. So now we're going to pull you and put you on dark matches?
Yeah.
Just put them back to NXT. At least they're getting televised.
A and B, where do you think AEW has the advantage over WWE aside from storytelling? You know, what's interesting is,
good question.
I don't know if you could do the aside from storytelling, because the whole thing about AEW is that the stars that went over there are actually able to be who they want to be, show the character they want to show, and everyone is going to shine on a different way when they're bringing their own vision, embracing the vision to life, right? So Daniel Bryan in WWE, you know, his stuff was cool, and the environmental thing went with his thing. But this badass that he is at AEW, this hard hitting, I mean, that's what he wanted to do, and that's what they let him do with us. So I think the reason that you see that they have an advantage is because not only do they bring over the wrestlers that we love, that we were so disappointed weren't going to be on TV anymore for us to see. They brought them back so we will see them. She actually brought them back and allowed them to be them and to be their own creative and their own character. And look at Alistair too. You know, not just Keith and Swerve, but look at Alistair, look at Daniel. I mean, even William Regal over there. John Moxley, Daniel Bryan, and William Regal. Are you kidding me? Like, that is awesome. And they're doing it. It's just great.
But I also think the advantage that they have is because of the same thing that WCW had back in the day. When you have all of these former WWE people all of a sudden showing up on this brand and doing stuff, people that we enjoyed watching, people that were good, people that were not used.
That should not have been let go.
That should not have been let go, are now being put on the main stage and utilized with whatever names that they want, right? And let's also keep in mind, one of the other things that The Rock has mentioned about the Attitude Era was things weren't as heavily scripted. Just like you said, you were able to kind of riff a little bit, just hand me the mic, let me do my thing.
Right.
You have a lot of that on AEW. A lot of these promos, it's very, very loosey-goosey to some degree, and they're able to interact with people in a way that you don't see in the WWE.
Right.
And there was a thing to be said for the Attitude Era. It was what it was. It was needed for the time. And this is not the Attitude Era anymore. But the fact that you want to control the narrative to such a degree, like the former superstar Braun Strowman, Adam Shearer, says, control your narrative. And that's the one thing I think AEW is able to do better than WWE is control their narrative in a way that is translated. We watch it all.
Right.
We even like Impact. We watch it all. But we started with WWE, so we're going to end
now
with
that
WWE.
Ring of Honor is part of AEW. I mean, come on, man.
We were talking about what are you going to do? How are you going to fit all these people onto AEW? You're going to add another hour? No, my man's added a promotion.
He just added a whole promotion, and he's just crossing them over. So he already had a crossover with Impact. Now he has a full integration with
and it's working.
Ring of Honor. I mean, for real.
It's working, and the ladies are being used over there. Have you seen them?
Man, they get down.
Come on now.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to bleed. They're not afraid to put in some work. I mean, you've got a TBS champion in Jade Cargill. Why is there no champion like that on the women's side for WWE?
I would love to see Jade Cargill go against Bianca Belair.
Just saying. Just saying. I mean, it would be great. You can't rely on legends or part-timers, and there you go.
Yeah.
Cena said it too. You cannot do that. No. I think this is gonna. It was great to see Austin. Austin's still a little slower, but he can still go.
Yeah, and I think that's this thing with The Rock is going to be different because it's The Rock. You know what I mean? The biggest superstar in the world, and he is the one who suggested it and threw it out there first. And then to do it again and promote it in his show, I mean, you know, Vince is drooling over that. There's no one who's going to bring more people back to watch this than The Rock.
And I'll tell you what, we all know The Rock. We all watch his Instagram. We all see him on social media. My man is in shape. Never's not kept in shape.
Right. It's not like an old dude coming back.
Exactly. It's like, I got to figure this out.
Nah.
What I would love to see is some way, somehow, getting his daughter integrated into this. This is what I want to see. Let me be honest with you, because I want to see The Rock and Roman go twice like he did with Cena. But I would love, now think of the drama. Just hear me out again. Think of the drama that would happen. Because we've seen Roman when he's laying out elbows. We've seen it. It could be brutal. Let's just see him laying out elbows on The Rock. The Rock is bleeding a little bit. Or The Rock is looking like this is it. Daughter comes running out, running down the ramp. NXT tries to get in there. Stop. Just like Jimmy did with Jay. Y'all remember that. Drama.
I mean, I guess it's a way to bring her out, because the one thing that they're not going to be able to do, and I'm so curious to see how everyone's going to react to her. Look at the hate Charlotte Flair gets, right? Are they going to do that to The Rock's daughter? Are they, even if she's good, are they going to say it's just because she's The Rock's daughter? Does she really have a fair chance? Because they're going to push her. She's The Rock's daughter. Mm-hmm. And that's going to make the audience hate her. So it's going to be really interesting to see what she could put up with psychologically, knowing that she's probably not going to get cheered. She's probably going to be hated just like Charlotte Flair is.
But how about this? Pull them apart, right? Roman is just kind of looking up to the ancestors. But then, boom! Kick to the nads by the daughter to Roman Reigns. I'm telling you, man, this is drama.
That is good. I'm not saying that's not good.
There you go. Okay? That's how you're going to get it done. Then we can talk about Cody and all this other business.
Well, we should actually wrap up with Cody.
Oh, Jody, don't even go there. Roman ain't getting released. Don't even go there, Jody.
Never.
Oh, bask in his glory. Jedi Knight, you just don't even know. Man. Actually, watching WCN is true. Like, rest in peace, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hogan with Flair. Exactly. Guess who's back? Lawrence R. Who's back?
Lawrence R. He is.
Yo, you're back. All right. Appreciate you.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with Cody, because I know that we've been on for an hour. So
just the stream right on time. Appreciate you, Just Alex. Everybody, hang on real quick. Give a shout to Just Alex. My brother, I saw a little bit of your stream. I know you had some streaming issues, man. So I know that's like. But I'm so glad you were able to be in here. If you do not know this brother, check him out. He is a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. And he's been a big supporter of us. We are supportive of him. Just Alex in the house.
Welcome, Alex.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So, okay. So go ahead. You were going to.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just saying, like, okay, so Cody comes back. We're all screaming. We're all blown away. We heard the rumors, but weren't going to believe it till we saw it. You seen that? You can go back and watch it. Then he comes out next week. Great match, great rivalry with Seth, build up. But we noticed, just as far as our videos go, that Cody's first appearance
through the
roof. Very next Cody reaction.
Cool off a little bit.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, are people like gonna just be over Cody that fast? I just don't know. Like, I would feel so sad for him to come all the way over here thinking like I'm trying to do this for my family and just fizzle out and fail.
I'm saying not. I've said it. Some people disagreed. I'm a fan of however you feel about Brandy. I'm a fan of power couples.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at the power couple. I like it with Sammy and Tay Conti.
Yeah.
Right? I like with Adam Cole, Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, and one of the longest reigning women champions of AEW, Britt Baker, DMD. Don't know why WWE likes to shy away from the power couple at all.
Yeah, I don't know if Miz could have Maurice accompany him. I'm not sure why Brandy didn't come out accompanying him.
And that's the thing. Like, you had Cody and the Miz. There was a little thing there. I love a good mix tag team.
Yeah, no one wanted to see that.
Nobody wanted to see it. But I'm saying Brandy's got into the ring. We know you've got this skill set.
Well, a lot of people in the comments didn't seem to think she does have a skill set.
She can be a badass.
I think I've seen her have some good matches on AEW that I felt like
exactly.
That as long as she keeps working on it, let's not act like Natalya is that much better. She's not.
But she can be, and she's shown us what typically happens is that we see people step up their game when you're back in junior high NXT. I'm going to call it what it is because we keep saying the main rosters, Raw and SmackDown. Okay, you step it up, and we've seen the pay-per-views of NXT fire. They laid all on the line. That's all I'm saying. And that's why I was slightly disappointed. WrestleMania 2-night event was cool, all in all. I can't say they laid it all out on the line. I can't say it was some great big spectacle. It was cool. But an NXT pay-per-view, generally speaking, usually you can't complain. That's all I'm saying. So if you got the skill set, use it.
Well, but WrestleMania was good, but WrestleMania had a whole bunch of people who don't go there, right? So a lot of the things that you wanted to see in WrestleMania didn't work. Coming back next week didn't have anything to do with watching the follow-up shows. So, and aren't going to have really anything to do with WrestleMania Backlash.
There you go.
So,
and that's the whole point. Backlash from WrestleMania.
Right.
Like we need to get a little bit of, payback.
Cody and Seth is one Backlash match. Roman won't be having one. Sammy won't be having one. I mean,
see, Sammy's wasting time with Drew McIntyre is wasting time with Sami Zayn. Not that we're mad at Sammy,
right?
But there's talk about who can possibly take on Roman, and a lot of fingers are pointing to Drew.
Yeah, I mean, Drew should be his next competitor.
But as I'm saying, he's wasting time with Sami Zayn.
But now that Sammy has approached him to get him involved, maybe that's going to lead to Drew and Roman.
Yeah, no, Stand and Deliver was great. I thought it was weird to have a pay-per-view for one brand and the other brand on the same night. That was just a little strange. That's a lot of pay-per-viewing for one day.
Yeah.
But whatever. I also want to say
good night, Emily.
Good night, Emily.
Thank you for joining.
We appreciate you always. That Liv Morgan situation with Rhea. As if she hadn't had enough, and then that whole issue with the house, you read that was.
Can we just say to everybody out there, please know that you should never, ever, ever give money to people that you do not know. It is so easy to impersonate a celebrity online and to get a fake profile and you have pictures of them everywhere. You could just read about them. It's so easy to impersonate them. So the fact that somebody fell for a Liv impersonator and sold his house to help her and just gave money to a scammer is so heartbreaking. So just letting you guys know that don't ever, if someone hits you up online saying they need money, I don't care if they say they're a priest, a missionary, a famous WWE star, just assume it's a scam artist. If you don't know them, just
don't do it. Although we do appreciate the super chats. So
that's
you know
not
us.
the
You
same
see us.
thing, man.
You see us.
Not the same thing.
And now
man.
Bradley Kanzler is saying he is going to be on Raw and he's going to try to make a sign. Oh man!
Yes, and if you do that and we catch you, we will feature you on our next stream.
You will be in a Raw reaction.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. That would be tight.
Sure. We'll give you a shout out, baby.
Wow, that's cool. Now, Arcel, you do mention that Becky never won the women's tag team titles, the NXT title. Hey, bring her back to NXT. You bring everybody else to NXT. Come on back home. Come on back home. Come on, Cletus. Come on, Cletus.
Welcome. You will live back. I think Renegade said that he doesn't think that they would have brought Cody over not to have a title reign like in the contract. I agree with you. I do think he is here for a title reign. And I'm not talking about WWE, the writers or Vince being fizzling out on him. We're talking about the audience. We're talking about our viewers. Didn't seem as interested in seeing his video the next week with him and stuff.
Yeah, so we just hope that
we're just hoping that the universe doesn't turn on him.
Yeah, which happened in AEW.
They did in AEW.
I mean, in a big way. My man helped start a whole new promotion, and the fans still turn. But wrestling fans are fickle.
We have been waiting for Asuka to return. So we wouldn't wouldn't be surprised if she returned on Raw, but
we're waiting.
We're just waiting, man.
We are waiting. So we will see. So right now, we do feel some type of way about the state of WWE.
Yeah.
We are still hopeful.
Yeah, we just feel like it's flipping and flopping.
What up, Stan Lee?
They don't know what they're doing, man, and it's we can feel it.
Yeah,
we can feel it. You're not highly invested in your whole locker room. You got rid of most of your locker room. Can't even utilize. You only have like 5 women on each roster, and you can't use them all. It's just it doesn't make any sense, and so.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned this at the beginning. We'll say it at the end. Jai Lee, big fan, great stuff. You're coming in hard now. You're back to heel. What is going on with Raquel? I mean, why are you acting brand new? Like you did, you basically acting like Aaliyah. Why are you acting brand new? It doesn't make any sense. When we get invested in something, then you change that. Why are we going to watch you? Why would we care? Doesn't make any sense. Acknowledge the tribal chief. It's going downhill at this point. We feel you, Jody. That is it. We just wanted to come on here real quick. We had some people in here, and we appreciate it.
We appreciate each and every one of you.
Because I'll be honest, every time we do a live, I always tell her, nobody's coming in. Nobody want to watch us. Don't nobody care.
You want your binky?
Maybe I do, but you all prove me wrong every single time. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for joining us. Please come back because tomorrow, now, real quick, because of our other obligations, our Raw reactions typically now have been a little delayed. We do apologize.
And we can only do like
2, maybe 3 at the most.
At the most per show. Like it's just where our situation is right now, which is unfortunate. But please know that even though we can't do all the reactions you guys are asking for and that we want to do, that our goal is to become full-time YouTubers. And when we do, we'll be reacting up a storm.
And our goal is also to do some more lives because apparently people enjoy the lives.
Yeah, and travel and take you guys to more shows live with us. I mean, that is the goal, you guys.
Thank you, Talk Paris.
Right now, we're hustling, trying to, fulfill all the obligations we have to fulfill and do this and bring you guys what we can. But just know that
it's coming. If you want to see us go live more, give me a hell yeah. So good. All right, that is it for A and B Combos Wrestling Edition. Thank you all so much to everybody up in here. Raw Smackdown is trash. Stanley, it could be better, Stanley. Oh hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Oh hell yeah. Okay, no, she's still recovering. No stunning from her.
You'll be giving me a stutter down the line.
You're gonna get talking about that Samoan with what is Zion and y'all see this gleam in her eye? Talk about something.
Oh, I have something in my eye.
Yeah, you're gonna have something gonna be this fist in your face. I mean, sorry, we had a Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing going on here. We will. That is it for us. We love you. We thank you. And Adjust Alex again. Thank you, Jody. Thank you for that opening. And we will bid you.
I do too.
It's always funny. Good night.